بارك الله فيك شيخ.
أن تلتزموا بالورد اليومي.
نعم.
أهم شيء الآن الورد اليومي إن شاء الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Our dear Sheikh Hafidhahullah, he mentioned that once he mentioned in a podcast, mashallah, a story from his own life. He used to study in Egypt, and then he would go home, as everyone would during the breaks, to his parents. And he said on one of the trips back, his father asked him, how often do you complete the Quran? So he said, I proudly said, every 7 days. I do a khatmah every 7 days. He proudly said this, thinking that my dad's going to be impressed and he's going to be proud and he's going to praise me and raise me. He said, to my subhanallah astonishment, I saw my father upset with me. He said, every 7 days? He goes, yes. He was still excited. Every 7 days is an achievement. Not so? 7 days, guys. Achievement or no? Achievement. He says, his father said, this means every 7 days, a verse from the Quran passes your eyes, passes your tongue only once. He goes, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. He goes, so I told my father, so what should I do? He says, every 3 days like me. You should complete the Quran every 3 days like me. His father was a Sheikh. He used to complete the Quran every 3 days. By the way, Sheikh said when he was little, when he memorized the Quran, since then he was completing every 7 days. So it wasn't something new.
Yeah.
He was already doing it. And then he grew up, he continued doing it. And then he went to Egypt to study, he continued doing it. But his father's point was, you're not married, you don't have a wife, you don't have children. What possibly could be keeping you busy that you need 7 days to finish the Quran? You should finish it every 3 days. He says, I said this in a podcast. The story went out, as you know, the podcast went out. He goes, and then a long time later, he forgot about it. He goes, someone came to me and said, subhanallah, this is who I am. I memorized the Quran when I was younger, and life has kept me busy. An entire year goes by and I don't complete the Quran. And then I heard your podcast about 7 days versus 3 days. And he says it affected me so profoundly, I began to cry. And at that point I made a promise to Allah that I will complete the Quran every 3 days. And he says, I give you glad tidings, ya Sheikh. I've been completing it every 3 days since then. He said to the Sheikh, subhanallah, reading the Quran this often, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought blessings, has brought to me opportunities with the Quran and through the Quran. Not just with the Quran, but in all matters of my life, matters that are beyond my ability to mention and describe. He says, I am able to read the Quran whilst driving, whilst walking, whilst moving. Allah has made it so easy for me. He's opened the Quran upon my tongue. Subhanallah. So the Sheikh is saying from this, he wants us to be inspired, to have a, if I can paraphrase, and the translation is paraphrased, to have a living relationship with the Quran, not a stagnant relationship with the Quran, to have a perpetual relationship with the Quran, not a temporary relationship with the Quran. In his dua, he asked Allah to make us a people who revive the nights with the Quran throughout the year and not only in Ramadan. And by extension, to complete the Quran throughout the year but not only in Ramadan. As I said, I'm paraphrasing, I will add some parts. My brothers and sisters in Islam, how often do we spend scrolling, driving into an app, reversing from an app, crashing into an app? This is what we do, and we spend hours. How often do we spend involved in useless speech that doesn't benefit us in this life and the next? We speak about a football team that we support as if we even earn half a pence from this team, or we have even a 0.001 share in the club, and it spoils our day and affects our mood And subhanallah, la yusminu wa la yughni min ju'. It doesn't benefit us in any capacity. Sheikh is saying, I intend by this to inspire you to recalibrate your thoughts from this evening regarding the Quran. He says a final story. It's connected to a 12-year-old boy called Hamza, who Sheikh met when he went to a Quran competition في Somal, al-Musabaqa, in Hargeisa. In August, he went to a Quran competition that began 12 years ago. It's a competition in which Huffaz come and compete in the recitation of the 10 modes. So not just one mode, 10 modes of the Quran. He says, I met a 12-year-old boy, Hamza. He came to me and said, Ya Sheikh, when this Quran competition began, I was suckling milk from my mother. I'm 12 years old, it began 12 years ago. And now here I am competing with the competitors in all the 10 qira'at at just the tender age of 12. The point the Sheikh is saying, may Allah bless Hamza and bless our children, Ameen. The point the Sheikh is saying is, look, my brothers and sisters in Islam, having a moment with the Quran is easy. And the Quran, Allah has made the Quran easy for us. He says the challenge is in having consistent moments with the Quran. Having a moment is easy. The challenge is in having consistent moments with the Quran, where your moments are regular, not irregular. Where your moments are muntazim. There's a rhythmic modus to them, as opposed to a broken modus to them. This is the message the Sheikh shared with us. Wa jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah bless you all and may Allah bless our Sheikh. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen.